If you don't have no credit, go get you a credit card. Keep it under 30%. Don't spend more than 30%, or else your credit usage will be high, and that will bring your credit score down as well. Just because you think you'll pay it off, don't do it in the first place. Go use your other money. Don't do it. Don't go above that 30%, or you're gonna be screwed. YouTube, what is that? Okay, hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, which I know you're new because I don't have no followers, no subscribers, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And today we're talking about how to fix your credit. Okay, if you got bad credit, I'm going to give you a few tips to fix your credit. Okay, I'm gonna get right into it because Emma got all day to be watching a long video. I understand. All right, so let's say you have bad credit or no credit. The first thing you want to do is go on creditkarma.com. You want to log in. If you don't have an account, then you want to go and follow the steps to create an account, A, B, and C, and you need to see what your credit score is. That is step number 1. Step number 2 is to see if you have anything in collections. Now, if you have anything in collections, that is bringing your score down. Another thing that brings your score down is overusage of credit cards, if you have any credit cards. So the name of the game is to keep your credit card under 30% of your maximum limit, your maximum amount. So when I started, I had a probably give or take like 500 or so credit score. And now I have a almost 700 credit score. So I didn't have credit when I started. I didn't have any credit. But what I did have was things in collections that I needed to get rid of. And also I had student loan debt on my credit. So I didn't have credit cards open. I didn't have a home loan on my credit or like an auto loan or anything like that. I just had student loan debt and I had collections. So the first thing I did to raise my credit score was to get rid of those things in collections. I had 2 medical accounts open, like medical, whatever they call it, things in collection. So the first thing I did was pay those. Now my bill was no more than $200 for my medical. I'm not sure if y'all's are like $1,000, $2,000, whatever the case is. Mine was $200, so I went ahead and paid those 2 medical, bills. And before you just go and pay them, you need to call them up and you need to say, hey, these things are in collection. I owe you. I want to pay you. But before I pay, I want to know the process of getting it off of my credit, my report. And they'll give you an answer. They'll say, okay, we handle it directly. That's what happened to me. They said we handle it directly. So once you pay us, give it 30 days and it will be gone from your credit. I had 2, like I said. So one said we handle ours directly, and the other said, okay, we're gonna report it to the agency, to the collection agency, and we're gonna tell them to go ahead and delete it. It's in good standing, and they'll go ahead and delete it, and that'll be off of your credit. Okay, so now if you have no credit, I'm gonna kind of bounce back and forth between what I'm trying to say and the points I'm trying to get across. So if you have no credit, like I did, a good way to start building your credit is to get a credit card. I know it sounds crazy and people have these crazy, myths about credit cards and you'll forever be in debt when you get a credit card. No, that is the main way, well not main, but that is a very good way to raise your credit score up quickly and expeditiously. Okay, so my first credit card was a Capital One credit card. I think I applied straight from Credit Karma. They give you a recommended card that you should go ahead and sign up for and apply for, and they give you your what do they call it, your approval odds. So if you have a good approval odd for a credit card, a Capital One credit card, you go apply. They'll either accept you or deny you. Easy as that. So I got accepted for my first Capital One credit card, and my limit was $300. Now that does not mean that I can go and spend $300 worth of stuff and then pay it off and then do it again next month. You want to keep your credit balance under or at 30%. So 30% of 300 is only $90. So I only had $90 to play with for the month. Not that I cared. I'm just using this as a way to build my credit. So up until now, I'm still doing it. So for the first 4 months, I was buying stuff up to $90, paying it back off. Not all the way back off, because if you pay your credit all the way off so that you have a zero balance, you're not carrying credit. So it doesn't look good on your credit score because you're not carrying credit. You're not in debt to the creditor. So you don't want to pay your amount fully off every single month. You want to keep it. I paid my minimum balance, which is always like $25, but I mostly I keep it, let's just say my balance is around $30 every single month, that I'm carrying that $30 credit so that I'm continuing to keep that line of credit open. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I got my first credit card, and then I want to say my score jumped from like maybe a 530 to a 600. And then I waited my 30 days and I got my things off of my collections, and then my score jumped up even higher from that, from my collections being cleared, because nobody needs things in collections. Then I went and applied for another credit card. The difference between the second credit card and the first credit card is that my second credit card has a way higher limit, credit limit. So the first one was 300, the second one was 1,000. So 30% of 1,000 is 300. So now I can spend 300 versus my $90. And when you have a higher credit limit, and you pay it off, and you're in good standing each month with your credit card company or whoever it is, your bank, it looks better on your credit score and on your credit report that you have a higher credit limit, and you're maintaining that credit limit. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So when you maintain a high credit limit and you pay it off each month, and you keep it under 30%, it looks good. The reason why you want to keep it under 30% is because you don't want the credit card company, why do I have my hand like this? You don't want the credit card company to think that you're relying on credit to get through your everyday life. You don't want to go and buy every single last thing that you need on a day-to-day basis with your credit card. Credit cards aren't really for that. So you don't want to go and buy groceries and shoes and clothes and everything that you buy on a daily basis with your credit card. You want to make it seem like you have other income, other ways of funding your life besides this credit card, or they're not going to give you a higher credit limit. So with Capital One, at least my Capital One, after 5 or 6 consecutive on-time payments, you get a higher credit limit. So after, I want to say it is 6 months, mine jumps from $300 to $500 as a credit limit. I'm not sure if that's a thing for all of them, but if you have a credit card and you've had it for a while and you're in good standing, you pay your things off every month consistently, you could call them and you could say, hey, I want a higher credit limit. I'm at 500. Maybe can I get 1,000? Can I get 800? Whatever the case is. All right. So now let's get back to bad credit or no credit. So that's a very, 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 very good way to jump up your credit score. Your credit score can jump up anywhere from 100 points to 150 points in a few months, based off you getting a credit card using it and paying it off consistently if you have no credit. Now, if you have bad credit and you have a lot of collections, or you have just credit cards that are overused or maxed out or anything like that, you want to begin to work with your debt person is, whether it's the bank, whether it's T-Mobile, you had a phone bill that you never paid from 8 years ago. I think things delete off of your, I'm not sure, fact check on that. I think things delete off of your credit after 7 years. If that's not right, let me know in the comments, because I really don't want to be bashed for saying the wrong thing. But like I said, if it's T-Mobile, if it's credit cards, or if it's student loans, you want to call whoever that is and you want to say, hey, can I get on the payment plan? Can I pay you XYZ dollars this month? And we can go from there and do a payment plan. You want to get those things off of your credit. Okay, so you don't want to go and pay the collection agency. The reason why you don't want to go and pay the collection agency is because you don't want to pay the collection agency, and the reason why you want to pay the person that you owe directly, or the company that you pay directly, because at the end of the year, which I'm pretty sure is at the end of the year, if and when you don't pay your debts, around tax time, the company that you owe will write it off as a loss, and they will sell your bill to a collection agency for pennies on the dollar. So say if my bill was $130, they would sell my bill to a collection agency for, say, $10, and then the collection agency will go after me for the full amount of $130, and I don't even owe them. I have no business with that collection agency at all. So you don't pay the collection agency. You want to go to the company that you owe, and that's about it. Okay, so do that. If you don't have no credit, go get you a credit card. Keep it under 30%. Don't spend more than 30%, or else your credit usage will be high, and that will bring your credit score down as well. Just because you think you'll pay it off, don't do it in the first place. Go use your other money. Don't do it. Don't go above that 30%, or you're gonna be screwed. Okay, what else can you do? Get that credit card, keep it under 30%. Call your debt people that you are in debt to. Call them, pay that off, get your collections cleared. If you have student loan debt that is not in deferment, what is it? What do they call it? Oh, deferment. Isn't that what it's called? Whatever. If you got student loan debt that you owe, because when you're in school, you don't have to pay back your loans. But when you get out of school, if you're out of school for longer than 6 months, then they'd be like, okay, run our coins. So if you got student loan debt that you owe, you need to call them up. You need to get on a payment plan, because it's not going to go away by itself. You're just going to have a really poor credit score at the end of the day. A really poor credit score. You're not going to be able to do anything, especially if you're young like I am. I'm 21 and my credit score is almost at a 700 in about 13 points. So give me 13 more points and I'll have a 700 credit score as a 21-year-old. And if I have a better credit score than you, then that's a problem. Period. What else? That's it for now. I gotta go eat some food because I'm hungry. And I gotta go pick some kids up from school. Because yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like if you liked it. Just give it a like anyway. And I'll see you in the next one.